It's a little unusual. Let's Hmm. Uh, Okay. You're the local favorite today. Oh, hello. How you doing? Mayboom, I am doing all right. And greetings to you, Gila. I hope your guys' days are going well. So, how have your guys' days been so far? Better than getting hit by a rhino backside. I don't know what you mean, but okay. I guess, yeah, I guess getting hit by a rhino would be pretty painful. Have you ever seen one in person? I mean, not inside a zoo, of course. Yeah, yeah, I figured. Well, hopefully more folks show up. It might be just a slow day. You want chicken. You want liver meow mix. Why would you want that? Hey, what's up, Sean? How you doing? Hmm. Favorite movie ending? Well, hmm. There's it's a little unusual. I mean, I guess I'd go with I don't know Inception. I guess I'd say that would be like my favorite. I mean, it is my favorite movie, so naturally it would have my favorite ending. So I guess I would go with that. Have I played Cyberpunk? Yes, G Law. I've played Cyberpunk. I've reviewed it. And I've gone back and I replayed it when it was all patched up and fixed and in the state I think it should have been at release. But yeah, I've played it. It's a great game now. It was a buggy mess at release, and now I was playing that on the PlayStation 4 Pro, and then uh, yeah, and then they kind of made like an updated version for PlayStation 5, and then that's the one I moved on to. So yeah. Why haven't I posted a new mystery stream game? Oh, I got one planned for today. Don't worry. I got one planned. It's not going to be up for very long. So, like, this mystery stream is. I'm going to do it today. It's going to be posted. I might leave it up for like a day. And then I'm going to delete it. And the reason I'm going to do that is because it's a. Well, we'll be doing another dancing game stream. So, hopefully, more people want to see me make a fool of myself. And because it has copyrighted music, then that one's gonna obviously be copywritten, so I'd have to take it down. So yeah. What about my favorite game ending? I That's a tough one. I think if I had to go with game ending, I'd probably go with Metal Gear Solid. Like, I guess Metal Gear. I guess it's a tie between Metal Gear Solid 3 and Metal Gear Solid 4, because 3 has like the best ending for my favorite game, but 4 has like the best ending to my favorite video game franchise. So they kind of pair each other off. It's like one is the ending is the ending to the beginning of the Metal Gear story, and the second one is the ending to the total Metal Gear story. So that's why they kind of jump back and forth. Inception is epic, indeed it is. How would you describe the Batman 2 and how would I describe so pretty much the Batman? How would I describe it? It's okay. I mean, I saw it, I reviewed it. I think it was good. I just don't think it was anything great, and I've only seen that movie like once. There were definitely some key problems I had with it. Hopefully, they get fixed in the sequel when they start filming. I believe sometime next year. So yeah, I thought it was okay. But it wasn't good enough that I think I want to see it again, because I just thought it was okay. There's definitely some problems with it. Give me a hint. It's a dancing game. There's the right here. There's the move controller. So it's a. I think that's all the clues you need. G-Law, am I excited for Eminem's new album? No. G-Law, I don't really listen to Eminem very much. I mean, maybe I've like one, maybe two of his songs on my like personal playlist, but that's about it. I wouldn't say I'm like a big fan of his. Watch Kingdom of Planet of the Apes. Not amazing, but not bad. I would compare it to Avatar 2 and Batman 2022. Kingdom doesn't exactly live up. I didn't see that either, but I didn't feel like I needed to. Like, I think the Caesar trilogy was good enough for me. Like, from what I saw of the trailer of this, it didn't look like it would be very good. It looked like it'd be like okay, and that's about it. Speaking of okay, it's crazy. Like the Gladiator 2 trailer, like that music messes that trailer up so bad. Like I saw someone do like a recut of that trailer, and they actually added in the proper music, and I was like, that makes such a massive improvement. Like the the official trailer makes it a movie look like it's just gonna be okay. The kind of re-edited trailer by someone else, like someone just did it themselves, makes that movie look like there's generally some potential. And that's like the key like function of why music is so important when it comes to the cinema. It's so important. What rating would I give The Force Unleashed 2? I'd give it a 6. It's too short. It's the story is it doesn't have a lot of depth. I would say the combat's been improved, some of the visuals have been improved, but I think the story's too short. I mean, you start off on Camino, you leave Camino, you get Coda, you then take a pit stop to Dagobah. It's never really explained why we went to Dagobah in the first place, and you're only there for like 5 minutes, and then you head back to Camino, and the game's over. Like literally, like that's crazy. Like when I actually went to the midnight releasing for that game, and I beat it in one run. Like I went to the midnight release, got home, played it for 4 hours, and I beat it before 5 in the morning. And this was on like standard difficulty. Like it took me like 2 or 3 days to beat the first game when I played it for the first time. But like I went through the second game in like 4 hours. I was like, oh, that's painfully short. Criminally short. Hello, Jackie Boy. Welcome to the stream. Is Big Boss a villain? He was the main villain in one of the games. Here's the thing about Metal Gear. It very much is viewed by point of view. Like, you could say if you're looking at Big Boss through a certain lens, he could be seen as the villain. But you flip the coin a little bit, and then you see things from his perspective, and he's like, he's not really the villain. He's fighting. He's trying to stand up against something that is inherently bad, like governments that screw over their own soldiers. Like he seems like more of a champion for like the average man, but like because the world is run by governments, they would see that as a threat. So there are very few characters that in Metal Gear that you can like definitively look from multiple angles and say, yes, that person is bad. Like you look at someone like Sniper Wolf. Sniper Wolf, you could say maybe she's a villain. Then you look at her backstory and she's like, oh, this one really went through a lot. Vamp's the same way. Psycho Mantis is the same way. Vulcan Raven's the same way. The Beauty and the Beast unit. From the outside, it seems like they're bad, but really, when you get to know them, you see that in some cases they could be victims of their own story, and that's one element of Metal Gear I've always loved. It's like you can't always take every character on face value. What holds Forbidden West from being a 10 out of 10? Why are you guys so obsessed with 10 out of 10s? Like, if 10 out of 10s were easy, the list would be longer. Like, there's a reason there's not that many. What holds it back is that the story. I didn't like the story. The story wasn't as good. Yeah, I mean, sure, gameplay-wise, sure. There were definitely some improvements over Zero Dawn. But, like, Zero Dawn had a much better story. And even that's not a 10 out of 10. Like the characters, Aloy was a lot less likable. The DLC, I think, added some elements that I didn't think, we're not even sure if that's canon. And the story wasn't very all that good. The main villain kind of came out of nowhere. And the ending was really, and the final boss was, like, piss easy. Like, there were a lot of problems. Like, trust me, were there some improvement? Were there some, like, technical improvements? Absolutely. But I seriously think the story was a major step back. I mean, trust me, I'm still pumped up to play the third one when it eventually comes out. But yeah, primarily the story. How am I doing? Cerberus, I am doing fine. How are you? I'm actually just trying to get myself ready for something big happening next week. Something very, very big that I'm very much looking forward to. But thank you for asking. Do a top 5 most disappointing PS4 games. I don't think I've played that many that were disappointing. Put it like this, I don't even think I've played a bad game on the PlayStation 4 because I'm so careful with what games I play. I think the only one that like comes to mind that was like really bad was like Wolfenstein Youngblood. Like that was an awful game, but like I don't think I've played enough games, especially during the PlayStation 4 era, I thought were disappointing. Like after my experience with 13, like I became very, very selective of my games. What games do you get on midnight release? I don't do that anymore. I got let's see, if I go back, games I know I got at midnight releases, let's see. I think Force Unleashed 1, I went to the midnight releasing for that back in 2008. I went to the midnight releasing for Force Unleashed 2. I went to midnight releasing for Batman Arkham Asylum. I went to a midnight releasing for Call of Duty Black Ops. I went to a midnight releasing of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I went to a midnight releasing for... I'm trying to think, there's one more. I think it was Destiny 2, and I went with my brother. After that, GameStop stopped doing midnight releases. Like they don't do those really anymore. Like if you have like a game that you want to get, like they usually will wait until they open up in the morning. But yeah, a lot of the GameStops in Vegas they stopped doing that years ago. So I haven't been able to really go to a midnight releasing of anything recently. Think of a thumb drive could grab save data from a console upload save. Well, it'd have to be a pretty powerful thumb drive to do that. Kilos, have I ever watched Hunter x Hunter X? No. No, I have not. Sean, MGS-Con. Yes, MGS-Con is one of them. But the day before MGS-Con, I'm going someplace else. And hanging out with someone really special, and we're gonna have like a whole day to hang out, and like I got like all kinds of plans set for that day. So it's a big trip. Is Metal Gear Solid 5 a bad game for me? I just don't like the story. It was just the story. I like once I knew what the story was, I didn't want to play it. Like I know there's some people that like 5 on a technical gameplay level, and that's understandable. But for me, it was when it came to Metal Gear, it was always its story. Story came first. Like if you don't have a good enough story, then I'm not interested in playing it. So, what rating would I give Metal Gear Solid 4? 5? I wouldn't because I wouldn't. I've never played it. I just saw the story, saw what happened. I didn't like it at all, and I don't acknowledge it. It was the wrong story to tell, and therefore I can't rate something I didn't play. Am I excited for Twisters? I'm not gonna go see Twisters. That's not a film I'm interested in. I mean, I saw the first one and I thought it was okay back then, but like, you know, so I'm not really interested. You're doing all right. Lately, you've been trying to focus on yeah, servers. That's everyone's battle. You heard PlayStation will go. Oh, I heard that rumor. I pray to God that's not true. Ooh, I am so against a pure digital console. I am so against that. Put it like this. This is how much against it I am. If it comes out that the next generation is a if PlayStation, if hypothetically speaking, if the next generation of consoles comes out and they reveal that PlayStation is going pure digital while Microsoft is still using discs, I will seriously consider getting an Xbox. I do not support pure digital gaming at all. That's a no-go for me. The day we get rid of physical games is the day I seriously question if I want to even just keep moving forward as a modern gamer. I'm not even joking about that. I will always support physical games because I like the idea of actually owning a game. When you buy games digitally, it doesn't feel that way because they can get rid of that at any time and you have no control over that. So I hope someone at Sony realizes that and doesn't go through with that. If you were Psycho, would you what? If I was a psycho, would I freeze people's damaged brains by solving puzzles? No. No, I don't think I would. That's a weird question. So, no, I don't think I would. Anybody? Any more questions? Looks like we're all caught up. And there's only 6 people here, so it might be a slow day. Oh, if I was a psychic, would I? Oh, I thought it said psycho. I was like, if I was a psychic, would you fix people's damaged brains by solving puzzles? I don't think it works that way. When PlayStation consoles do, which PlayStation console do I think should be the last? Um, that's unusual. Why would you want a console to be the last? Is it failing? I mean, what? That's like, what video game do you think should be the last video game ever made? Like, what kind of question is that? Why would I want? I wouldn't want that. I'm a gamer. I want consoles to always keep. I want them to always be around. Why would I want them to be the last? Did I see True Lies 1994? If so, do you wish they were sitting in a chair in a hotel room watching? No, it was a good movie, but no, that's not me, man. No, that is such an out of nowhere question. That's odd. Hmm. Spencer Scott, am I seeing Deadpool? Yes. I had to be a little bit convinced that certain things had to convince me, but yeah, I've already pre-bought my tickets to see that on the 25th at about 5 in the afternoon. So, yeah, I will be seeing it. Did you know Alan 2 is getting... Yes, I do know that Alan Wake is getting a physical copy, and when it comes out, I will be getting it. Yes. I wanted to play Alan Wake 2, but I wanted to wait till a physical copy came out. Now that one's is coming out, I do plan on playing Alan Wake 2. I mean, there are people who are against the idea of a PlayStation 6. Why? What kind of question is that? It's like, so you want the PlayStation, like, what do you mean? Like, that's like saying I want this type of car to be the last of its kind. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, are they ever gonna stop making Nintendo consoles? No. Are they ever gonna, like, no, that's just silly. That's like saying, hey, you know this, my Galaxy S23 Plus, I want this to be the last Samsung Galaxy. I don't want a better version. I don't want an upgraded version of this that improves on everything this one does. Like, what kind of question is that? Why would people want that? People want things to get better as time goes on. That's the whole point of progress. Do you like items with skulls? Not really. I don't think I have anything that even has a skull on it. So, yeah, probably not. If you ever wanted to get into driving, would you be driving a car or a motorcycle? Well, I drive a car, and I have no interest in learning how to ride a motorcycle. So, obviously, I would go with a car, just for safety reasons. Do I classify myself as a rock and roll fan? I guess maybe. I mean, there's some rock and roll songs I like, but not many. So I guess a mini fan, if that's a thing. Blackwood 249, you want to know which Persona 5 weapon would you want to own as a replica? Well, obviously, Joker's dagger. I mean, I already got his mask, so obviously his dagger or knife. That's what I would want. Spencer Scott, did I like the Batman, and do you think the second one? I thought the Batman was okay. I just didn't think it was good enough for me to want to see it a second time. And heck, hopefully the second one will be better. I mean, I just thought it was okay. I think I mentioned this earlier in this video. Like, someone else asked. I was like, I thought it was okay. I think it was great. And I don't have an interest in seeing it a second time. It's just okay. Just I had some real problems with it. That was just like, I don't know why they went with that decision, but there were some good things and some things I didn't like. I think I would want my own Tyrant pistol. Joker's strongest pistol. Okay. If you could have a replica of a weapon from the past wars in history in your room, which would it be? I just want to double check I get this right. Yeah, that's what it was. If I wanted one weapon from a past war, it'd be one of two weapons. It would be either a German MP40 or a German STG-44. One of those two. Those are the two like deactivated weapons from a prior war I would want just to hang up or display. If the Nintendo Switch successor is announced this year, would I buy it? And what its features and improvements would you like to see? I wouldn't buy it. I would wait a while. Like the thing about Nintendo Switch, like I like my Nintendo Switch, but I don't really play it a lot. Like it's like I really don't. Like I'm happy I have it now after criticizing it for so long, but like it took it took years for me to finally get that. So like I would probably wait until one there's a price drop, and at minimum there were like 10 really good games I really wanted to play on it. Like by the time I accidentally got my Switch, there were like there were like 3 or 4 games on that system that I was interested in playing. So like that's what I would. I wouldn't get one at launch. Plus, I would assume that versions of it that they release afterwards would be like have slight improvements. Like you never like that. That's just my way of thinking. What is my favorite live action Batman suit? And what's up, Zach? Favorite Batman suit? This is gonna sound silly, but I really like the sonar suit from the end of Batman Forever. I actually quite like that. I like that suit. Zach Tarf. So Brian Zane from GX think he would handle. Oh, wait a second. You asking? Do I think Zane could? Okay, you're basically asking. Do I think Zane could take down Kaiba? Well, they're kind of similar. It's possible. It could go 50-50. They're kind of, I would say they have like similar decks. I just think that Zane's Cyber Dragon deck, and then you've got like the Dark Cyber Dragons, is a little more technical. So it could go either way. Is Germany one of the places in the world I would like to I would choose to live? No, of course not. No, I would not. Which Lego Batman suit did I like the most? I don't know. The classic one. I didn't play Lego Batman. I saw the movie Lego Batman, but I'm not aware of like multiple Lego suits. I'm not aware of that. My money's on Zane if he duels Kaiba. Yeah, I mean it could go either way. Which is my favorite spider suit? The Sam Raimi spider suit. That's my favorite. Easy. If America was to have an invasion from another country or a civil war, what would I do? I'd stay away from the front lines. I can't imagine that. That's so weird. Like maybe something like that could happen, but hopefully it doesn't happen in my lifetime. Like before the world really goes to shit, I hope I'm not around. Final Fantasy VII Original over Remake. The remake, just a reboot, and I find those ghosts to float around pointless and bring the original game is a masterpiece. Yeah, I have that kind of mindset. I refuse to play that game. Once I saw what they did, I was like, no, I'm fine. What is my favorite version of Peter Parker with the symbiote? With the symbiote? I guess the classic Fox Kids version of that. I guess that was the first one I was introduced to. There are alternate bat suits that give Batman different powers. Yeah, not real. Yeah, Lego Batman. That's not something I'm interested in playing. I've tried like just the Star Wars Lego games, and that's been enough for me. I mean, Jaden from GX. Look, okay, look. I'm gonna say this. I don't know a lot about GX. I've seen like 1 or 2 duels. So try not to ask me anything about GX. I did not watch GX. I know of these duelists, but I've never actually seen them duel. Like I think I glimpsed one Zane duel, and that's it. Like I know Jaden uses like a bunch of elemental heroes, but like I've never actually seen him duel. So try not to ask me any GX questions because I didn't watch it. I saw the original and I saw 5Ds. I didn't watch any others outside of those two. Would you just stay and hide in my place? No, I'd probably move to somewhere very secluded. Do I have a favorite South Park episode? South Park episode. I guess, Red Sleigh Down. I'd say that one's probably my favorite that I enjoy the most. And then there's the one with Scrody McBurger Balls. That's probably a good number two. And then the homeless one's probably number three. So I'd say those are my top three favorite South Park episodes. If I could remember which episode of Am I Afraid of the Dark, God, I don't remember. I remember watching that show, but like I don't remember individual stories. Yeah, maybe for a good reason because I watched that as a kid, so maybe my brain is suppressing some memories. So yeah, I can remember like key episodes of like Keenan and Kel or like that. That one sticks in my mind pretty positively. I got some fond memories and episodes of that. Let's just say Jaden tends to depend on fusion monsters. Not sure if that's a good or bad thing in a duel. I think that just depends on your style of play. Like they recently came out with some new decks that like they're like primarily nothing but fusions. When was the last time I got really excited for a game? When they showed the Doom Dark Age trailer, I got excited for that. I mean that game looks better than anything that's come out this year. And I got excited for Assassin's Creed Shadows. I mean, I can get excited for games. Joey versus Valen was a cool duel. I wouldn't mind seeing Valen's armor cards made. That was a weird duel. Entertaining but weird. I'm not sure how that would work. Like having all those like different armor cards and each one has a special ability. Literally one card would completely kill that deck and make it useless and make it unfunctionable. Just one card that like a lot of people in Master Duel play. Like I know I played in all my decks. It's annoying to other people. They just like get up and quit. Which creature, animal, or evil person from the haunted house am I most afraid of? I wouldn't say it's any one person, but like any time, like I remember when I was a kid and we went trick or treating, there was always this like we would go trick or treating on the military base, and there was always this one house that had like this chainsaw sound effect, and so there was like this guy with a chainsaw. So like I think anything that involves a chainsaw is probably something I want to stay away from. Can you see animals weightlifting in the future? Maybe. I mean, there's some animals that are really, really strong, so they don't need to weight train, because, like, you wouldn't expect to see a gorilla weight train, because they're already, like, 8 times stronger than an average human, so why do they need to train? What do I think is the biggest problem with John Wick Chapter 3? Why? I don't have any major problems with it. It was great. It was a great film. Solid story, great action, solid pace. I mean, they were just, I can't think of anything about that movie I didn't like. It was great. It was a great film. Saw it in theaters, and then I saw it multiple times when it came out. So I can't really think of anything. There's like one problem. There's like one issue in the fourth one that I could point out that like no one has answered that question, and it doesn't hurt the film. It's still a fantastic film, but like even how many times I've gone back and rewatched the fourth one, there's like one key question that like no one has an answer for, and it's never brought up. What is your shirt saying? The local favorite? This is a work shirt that I got years back. Like every once in a while they would like give us like these different shirts, and we had like a theme for like that part of the year. So the local favorite. So we were going to see Telos Realm and Pilot. I'm not Black Wolf. I'm not sure what that is personally. Jackie boy, you still haven't started on the amp prop I was gonna make. Budgets have been very tight. Yeah, well, you do the best you can. Prop building can be difficult in time, but you can't rush art. And we got 20 more minutes left until the mystery stream, which isn't really much of a mystery because some of you already know what it is. So, what are some gaming franchises that I gave up on? That I gave up on? It's something I just stopped playing. Well, I didn't really stop playing it. It's just the franchise came to an end. So I'm trying to think of something that I was a fan of for a while and then I just stopped playing. What? I guess Zelda, maybe? If that counts, because I've only played 3 of those games, and the last time I played a Zelda game was like 20 years ago, but like, I just fell out of interest. I mean, I still go back and play, a Link to the Past every once in a while, but like, that's the only popular franchise I can think of that I was playing some of the games, and then I just stopped playing because I wasn't interested anymore. Like, that's the only one that comes to mind. If you got tangled with Jason Bourne, would you join him on a mission? No, I would get away from him. Not interested. It's not my problem. I want nothing to do. I'm very fond of my very simple and quiet life. So you think the strongest normal monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still Blue Eyes White Dragon? No. I think there's a couple of stronger ones that are like normal. Like, I'm trying to think. Like yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like a couple of normal. Oh wow. Oh, okay. I guess Blue Eyes is. Okay, well, I would have expected them to have released something, but wow, I guess Blue Eyes to this day it's still the strongest normal monster. Wow, I really would have thought they would have released something by now. I was thinking of other monsters that I know could beat it, but those are like mixtures of other monsters, so yeah. The Doom Hunter we saw in Doom Eternal came from Telos Realm. As for Atlas, remember the giant mech was Doom Fortress. That was okay. I don't know the Doom lore as in depth as you. So thanks for the info. Have I played Beat Saber? Yes, I have played Beat Saber. Yes, I have. Which Dragon Ball arc is my favorite? Let's go with the Saiyan one. Keep it simple. What do I do to distract myself when I'm feeling stressed? I listen to music or play a video game. Or write. Or film something. Work on a script. I just try to keep myself busy or I just go to sleep. And we still got 18 minutes. In terms of attack, Blue Eyes is the highest, but in overall state, it's... Okay, I'm not aware of that, but thanks for letting me know. Do I like Godzilla? It's okay, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Godzilla. I haven't seen a Godzilla film in a long time. Other than, let's see, what are my what are my thoughts on John Cena's retirement announcement? I I feel like that. I feel like they did that a little too. I think that I don't know whose decision that was, whether it was his or the company's, but I feel like that was done a little too soon. Like that's still a year and a half. Like one, it was odd. It was at Money in the Bank. You would have expected it at like a bigger event, like a SummerSlam or a Survivor Series, like that's when I would have expected. And I was under the impression like he was going to retire at WrestleMania, which I thought was proper. But no, apparently he's going to work all the way up from January to December. So that's a year and a half. Like you usually don't announce retirements that far away. Like if you're going to announce a retirement, your retirement is either at the end of like a working year or after a significant match or a year in advance. But like this, we still have like a year and a half. So I mean, it, he's getting up there in age. A lot of the old veterans that I watched when I was first starting wrestling are retired or they're already gone. But I felt like the announcement was a little soon. I felt. Other than a person armed with a chainsaw, what other weapons do I fear? I don't know, axes, machetes, stuff like that. Classic stuff. Funny moment from Jix. Kaiba sent out Deck into space saying, "Is there an alien out there? I'll teach them how to duel." I wasn't aware of that, but that sounds weird for even Kaiba to do. Will you ever make a Grand Theft Auto game tier list? No, I'm not a big enough fan, and and there's a lot of them I haven't played, so I don't think a tier list is necessary. Which character would I like to see in Marvel Wolverine? I don't care. I just hope it's good. I just hope it's good. Which weapon? Which weapon a person armed with would easy for me to disarm? Easy to disarm. A blitz ball, I guess. These are some weird ones. Which character is overhyped in Versus series as a combatant? Overhyped? Nobody that I can think of. I don't do that anymore, so I'm happily retired, so I can't really say. How is life in Las Vegas treating me? I don't like it. Don't like it. Want to move. I'm done with Vegas. I'm desperate to get out. Do I think it's a bad idea for shows to go on for 20 years? I personally would say yes, because it starts getting stale. Well, if people stop watching it, then it'll stop coming back. I mean, if The Simpsons were bad, then people would have stopped watching it years ago. But heck, people still watch The Simpsons, so it keeps going. That's how shows work. As long as people watch it, they'll keep making it. I like that you have Chikorita on my background. Well, yeah. Why wouldn't she? I keep, I got Lugia. You can't see him, but he's up here. And I'm replaying through a Pokemon Silver. And, yeah. By the way, I hope some of you guys checked out my latest Pokemon video because it's getting a small amount of attention, and I'd really like for that video to get like a lot of attention because I had a lot of fun with it. So, what do I think about Man of Steel competing with most Marvel movies now? Why would you? That's a weird question because Man of Steel is like 12 years old, or it's like 11 years old. So you're comparing a movie that came out a decade ago to Marvel movies now. I can't even speak on Marvel films because I haven't watched any in a long time. I'm not even bullshitting. The last Marvel film that I've ever actually watched was Avengers Infinity War. And once I saw the ending, I knew I didn't have to watch Endgame. And I've not seen Endgame. I've not seen whatever that Spider-Man movie was that would have pissed me off. The Eternals, I think they did another Ant-Man. I think something called Shang-Chi or something. Like, I have not watched a Marvel film in like 5 years. Like once I knew what had to happen in Endgame, like I told my friend, I was like, look, I'm not going to see Endgame because I already know what the plot is. And I know exactly what's going to happen. And they went and saw the film. And they says, Brian, how did you know? That's what would, like, well, they kind of wrote themselves into a corner. Like, my ass was laughing at the ending of Infinity War. Like, I felt like, I don't like to view myself as, like, above other people. But, like, when everyone in my theater was, like, acting all shocked, I was laughing my ass off. I was like, you bastards cannot be this stupid. Because everyone that they dusted, I already knew they had a movie in production at the time that movie came out. So I knew they weren't dead. And for all you people to be so stupid to buy that these characters are dead is ridiculous. So the whole dusting thing, the dusting scene did not shock me. It made me laugh. Now, if they dusted off certain characters, maybe I would have bought it. But the fact that everyone they dusted already had a movie that was confirmed to be in production at the time that film came out was a joke. Would I fall in love with a mermaid? I already did. Her name is Ariel. She's from The Little Mermaid. I watched that movie as a kid, and she is a key reason as for why I fell in love with redheads. Like, she's probably the first redhead I fell in love with. And then Mary Jane came after that. And then Jean Grey came after that. And, like, to this day, like, my favorite type of woman I find the most attractive is redheads. In fact, I have a redhead as my wallpaper and as my phone wallpaper. What is the most disappointing season finale that I've ever seen? Disappointing? I can't think of one off the top of my head, really, if I'm being honest. Have I read The Little Mermaid by Hans? Yes, I have read the original Tale of the Little Mermaid, and I am aware it's a lot darker than the Disney films. But then a lot of Disney movies, if you actually look at the real story or the original telling, it's much darker. Like Pocahontas. Like, they make Pocahontas seem like so cheery. And yet, if you actually know the story of Pocahontas, it's actually kind of messed up and sad. Hunchback of Notre Dame is another example. Love the movie. Love the Disney film. Saw that in theaters when I was 7. But if you actually look at the actual telling of that story, pretty dark stuff. Favorite anime besides Pokemon, of course. I'd probably go with Yu-Gi-Oh! Have I watched Guardians of... No, I'm telling you. I'm done with watching Marvel films. I don't watch them anymore. I haven't seen any Marvel film. Like Ant-Man, like Deadpool and Wolverine. That's going to be the first Marvel film I've seen in like 5 years. And that may be the last one I see. Maybe. I've always been attracted to blondes. Hey, that's perfectly cool. That's fine with me. You think Yubel as a monster isn't good compared to other monsters? I think it's how you play style. If you know how to use Yubel, that thing can be pretty deadly. Would you have General Zod win in Man of Steel? Why the hell would I want that? He wins in The Flash. And that was a garbage film, so. Alright, we got 6 more minutes. Would I watch DC movies that are more Elseworlds? I maybe if there's nothing else to watch. Let's see. Zack the OG U Bell was a gimmick joke and retains are actually really good. Mm. If someone donated 100, sure, why not? Yeah, sure. Yeah, someone does a super chat and donate $100. Sure, I'll watch movie 43 in a straight jacket. But yeah, sure, I'll rewatch it. Do I have to have the sound on? Like if you've seen that movie, A Clockwork Orange, and that scene where he has his eyes are like they're like stuck open like that, and he's in a chair. Like you want me watching it like that? Because it's gonna be painful. It's gonna be painful. Which Pokemon anime series is my favorite? The Johto one. After Johto, I took a long break from Pokemon. Like I stopped. Yeah, once the Johto period was over, that's when I stopped with Pokemon. I took a long break. That's why that's why Kanto and Johto are always the two that I stick with the most. Would you make a Daredevil game? No. No, I would not. Do you know other things of nature that James Cameron's Avatar movies could touch on? No, I've not seen those. I saw the first one on a tiny computer screen. I've never actually seen it on TV, and I didn't even bother with the second one. I remember you screaming your lungs out during your movie rant of the movie. Well, that was a long time ago, but yes, that did happen. Yes, I just imagine that over the course of a whole movie in an apartment building. I think I'd get some noise complaints. Will you buy Grand Theft Auto 6? I won't buy it, but like if there's nothing else to play, maybe I'll rent it. But like buy it, no. I didn't buy the last two Grand Theft Auto games. I rented those games and reviewed them and I returned them, but like buy it, no. Who do I think would die in I don't know. You could kill either one of them and it wouldn't really affect me. It wouldn't matter. Any game series that I'd love to have an open world game? Not that I can think off the top of my head. There's some that can work in an open world setting and others that just don't. And we got about 2 more minutes. Would you run your own webtoon comic? No. Nope, nope. Have I ever been bullied? Yeah, I was bullied once in high school. Only once. There was another time when I was in elementary school, but I don't need to talk about that. But I don't know. It was after like a day of weight training, and this guy, he was on the football team. He was just messing with me, and I just kind of lost it. Like I had that moment where I don't know how I did this, But I was able to like grab him by, I don't know, like if it was adrenaline or just anger, because I just hated this guy. And he thought like just because he was a varsity football player he could just pick on anybody. And I don't know how I did this, but I literally was able to pick his ass up from his throat. Like I literally was holding him up. Don't know how I did that. And strangely enough, that was the last time I ever saw him. I didn't get in trouble. There were other people who saw me that were witnesses to this. He might have transferred to like another period or another class for that particular period, but I never saw or heard from him again after that. So I guess when you stand up to bullies, they just go away and they don't want to deal with you anymore. Yes, bullies freaking suck. However, I think in some cases bullies suck, but like a part of me feels that bullies are sometimes a little necessary. And here's why I say that. They're necessary because I think that some of life's biggest lessons, it's best to learn them as young as possible. That way you learn to deal with them so they don't bother you as an adult. So like if you've never had to confront a bully as a kid or as a teenager, you probably won't know how to do it as an adult. If you dealt with a bully and you confronted that bully and you overcame your bully, then as an adult, if you encounter someone who's trying to bully you, it doesn't work. And then you can, if you have kids of your own, you teach that lesson to your kids. The ironic part is that I taught myself that. So that's why, like, bullies suck. Bullies can cause a lot of damage. But a part of me feels that had I not had that encounter and learned to stand up for myself, I wouldn't have learned that as an adult. Because there's definitely some lessons that it's probably not best to learn them when you become an adult. It's best to have learned them as you're developing into an adult. So, if you could craft a funny gun made of, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a good craftsman. And I probably scared him off. That might be the case, but the fact that he was part of the varsity team was more surprising. Okay, well, that's going to cut it for this live stream. I'm going to jump onto Just Dance in about 3 minutes. So if you guys want to see me dance and make a fool of myself, and hopefully not kill myself, you can jump onto that next stream in a few minutes. So hope you guys had a great time, and some of you will see me make a fool of myself in the next stream. And like always, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you all guys next time.